What's up, everybody? It's Sean.
This is Alan.
And this is Inside the Square, the wrestling podcast, coming at you almost every other week from sunny St. Mary's, California, Maryland. A lot to unpack today, big buddy.
A lot.
We just got done with Bad Blood. We watched the premium live event last night.
It was actually pretty incredible, but it was a few botches, but they made it up for the main event.
Yeah. We'll start from the top. CM Punk versus Drew Mac.
Candidate match of the year.
I think it was one of the best matches I've seen this year.
Yeah.
It was incredibly physical. Some crazy bumps. Very
good match.
It was not for the weak of heart. I saw a story that was circulating that Abyss, I don't know if you remember the wrestler Abyss from WCW. You're probably too young, but he produced that segment. Apparently, he was known for very crazy matches. Blood and gut type matches. A lot of gore. a lot of blading. And it worked.
It was similar to Bret Hart and Steve Austin.
Yeah, it was very physical. I don't know. I think they got it right. Punk won the match.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. It's gonna be a lot of spoiler alerts, but it was a ton of bumps. It was, had wrenches. It had freaking toolboxes.
Yes.
It was just crazy.
And a lot of claymores and GTS.
Yeah, a lot of go to sleeps and a lot of steps. Man, it was brutal.
Very good.
But yeah, I agree with Alan. I think this is one of my matches of the year. Gold 5-star stunners.
Awesome
match. I really commend CM Punk for putting on that kind of match.
And shout out Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre is doing his best work right now.
He is such a great heel.
That dude was born to be a heel. Such a good heel. God, he's good.
What's next for CM Punk?
Well, yeah, what's next for both of them? Are they going to run it back for Crown Jewel?
I think they are, but they might wait until WrestleMania next year.
I can see them running it back for Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
All right, next match was Bayley versus Nia Jax. It was kind of like a lackluster match for me.
Yeah, it should have been a triple threat.
It was a ton of botches. I did not care for this match at all. It was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting thing about the match was when Tiffany Stratton came out and she kind of helped Nia Jax. And Nia Jax, she sat up like the Undertaker.
Yes, so
that
good.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Excuse me, audience. I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. I've been fighting it for the last couple of weeks. So if you hear me coughing, clearing my throat, not me being unprofessional, not me trying to get off the mic, but just got a cold. But yeah, getting back to Tiffany Stratton, I think her tease was more was something else because
it was gonna happen.
I felt like it should have happened,
but they're waiting until next year to do it.
Yeah, I really feel like it should have happened at that point.
Yeah.
It would have been a good change of pace.
When Nia Jax reach 100 and some days as champion, that's when she's going to lose the belt.
That botched Hurricanrana really was off-putting. Corey and Michael Cole really saved their asses with some of the commentary.
Well, they did, yeah.
But I really didn't like that match, man.
No.
That was
you remember the Annihilator?
That was clean. The last Annihilator was clean.
Yes, yeah.
And I told you, I said, Bayley's really strong. And I didn't know she could pick her up, but she did.
It's so tough. It's just they were running on time.
I don't know if they're running up against the time block.
They were.
And for those who don't know, Bad Blood started at 6 p.m.
And
by 7 or 8.
At 9:30ish.
Yeah, it ended early because of the UFC fights.
I think that's why they had to rush it. That's why it's not their fault.
I don't feel like it was rushed. It was like a 3 hour and 30-minute premium live event.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was well done. It was just, I felt like that match was not very good.
Yeah, they were just running on time.
But I think Tiffany is going to eventually cash that in and win that belt.
Maybe next year.
Maybe at the end of this year. Maybe Crown Jewel.
I don't know. Nia Jax she's going to tease it again at Crown Jewel. I see it.
And that's the thing, man. I really like Nia Jax. But I think she should be feuding against somebody like Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair.
Or Tiffany Stratton.
Or Tiffy. Tiffy is really growing on me. She is really good. I think they're missing a boat on her, and I think they're missing a boat on Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green's really good.
She's actually pretty good.
Really good character. She stays in character.
She does.
God, she's funny. And she can wrestle, too.
Piper Niven is pretty good, too.
Yeah, I always said Piper Niven is underrated, and I don't understand why they won't... Well, I do understand why they won't push her, but I don't see the point in not pushing her, because she's different, man. She's different.
Very
Got
different.
a good mean streak in her. I say a good mean streak. It's an oxymoron. But she can wrestle.
Yeah.
She can wrestle. Moving on a little bit, Damien Priest versus Finn Balor.
Banger.
It was a decent match.
Yeah.
Really good match.
And Finn was selling his butt off.
Finn is a lot smaller than Damien Priest.
Yeah, you had a lot of criticism on Finn Balor and his size.
I was a little wrong in that, but it kind of, you have to suspend a lot of belief when you see a very tiny wrestler wrestle a really big dude.
Like, Finn Balor's been doing this for a decade.
A couple decades.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta remember Finn Balor, he looks young, but he's like 40-something years old.
Yeah, Damien Priest, too.
Yeah, exactly. Priest has been doing it for a long time, too.
When Finn Balor brings back the demon at War Games, it's going to be so good.
It was a clean match.
Almost clean.
Could have been a bit more of a storytelling aspect to it.
Yeah.
I get tired of all of the Judgment Day people.
Not Carlito.
It's just a lot of them, man. It's too many. It's a lot of factions, and I understand why. But it's like, if they're gonna interfere at every damn match,
they're gonna fix that next year.
They gotta fix it. They gotta fix it soon. It gets a little tedious because Judgment Day don't seem like a real faction anymore.
No, not without Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley.
Well, even when Edge left, I think it was like
different.
It was different. You know, Damien Priest was like the Judgment Day. Him and Rhea Ripley were the Judgment Day,
and Dominic too.
Well, now they're just the twin terrors. But I always liked Damien Priest. I liked him. I've liked him for a long time, even before he was the Damien Priest gimmick. He was Punishment Martinez.
Yeah.
The dude can really wrestle. And it was a very clean match, but, until the very end.
Yeah.
But it was a good match.
They're going to run it back at War Games.
Definitely going to run it back. Triple H made his announcement. It's going to be a Crown Jewel Championship. Gunther is hilarious.
So good. He roasted... Goldberg.
Yeah, Bill Goldberg, as Bret Hart would say. Bill Goldberg was in the audience, for those who didn't see. I like what WWE did when they showed all the legends. They had Scotty Steiner, crazy ass. They had
Mickey James.
I love Mickey James.
And X-Pac.
I love Mickey James. Let me say it like that.
And Jillian Garcia.
Yes, that was awesome. They had Jillian. They had Jacqueline from old school WWE divas.
She
WWF
was good
divas.
in her prime.
She was great in her prime. She was Divas champ.
Yeah, she was.
She was something special, man.
And she was cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, she was special, man.
Yeah.
And they had Bill Goldberg with his son.
That was unexpected.
Gabe. It was well, Goldberg played for the Falcons, and I think he lives in or around Atlanta.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense to me for him to be there. But
Gunther's just so funny.
Gunther had a job at Bret Hart a month or some change ago when they were in Canada.
Yes, yeah.
And he said that Goldberg was his favorite wrestler. Hilarious, right?
Bruh.
So why did he get in Atlanta and said that Bill Goldberg was a one-trick pony?
It was so good.
It made me laugh so hard. I was like, this dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
And
that's why he got the strap now.
Yeah. He's a world champ. He's WWE champion. And deservedly so. He's a good wrestler.
He deserves it.
Him and Sami Zayn are definitely going to run that back.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn came out, interrupted. They got into a really good altercation outside.
I think Gunther's going to win the match.
I really don't want... And I put this on Threads, and I put this on...
Pins and Needles?
Threads and Instagram, the two social media platforms. I do not want to see Bill Goldberg wrestle Gunther.
Nah, Gunther's going to squash him. You already know that.
I don't want to see... I don't even want to see it. And they're teasing it like he's going to do it. I really don't want to see that, man.
No, not
I am
really.
so tired of Bill Goldberg. And I have to do the Bret Hart thing when he calls his whole name. It's hilarious to me every time I see it.
Yes, yeah.
He don't say Goldberg, he said Bill Goldberg. It's like a running joke. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And Bret Hart has never forgiven Goldberg either.
Never.
And maybe he shouldn't. I mean, he kind of put him out of business for wrestling for the rest of his career for the most part, if you think about it. That kick to the face, which is crazy. But yeah, I do not want to see Bill Goldberg wrestle again in WWE.
Yeah, he's gonna stay retired. I already know that.
I hope the hell so. Some idiot I was arguing with over the internet, and you should never argue with people on the internet because you don't know these people and they don't know you. But this idiot I was arguing with over the internet, this dude was just like, well, that's why he's going to wrestle again. That's why he's going to win. And if you're a fan...
No, he isn't.
If you're a fan and you don't see the problem with Bill Goldberg coming back...
He botches a lot.
And he's taking time, money, and resources away from talent that's actually wrestling every week. He's an oddity. He's like a traveling oddity show.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see him no more, man.
He's a part-timer.
He shouldn't even be a part-time. He shouldn't even be a no-timer. I am not a fan of Goldberg.
He's on a Legends contract, which is good.
Like I said, I don't want to see him again.
Me neither.
I just don't want to see him. If you're going to focus on the future, focus on the future. Focus on
of
Gunther,
your talent.
Focus on Ilya Dragunov. Focus on Oba Femi. Focus on Trick Williams. Focus on Braun Breaker. Focus on Cody Rhodes. Focus on people who are wrestling every week.
In Roman.
God, we're going to get to him. What a talent that dude is. That dude's awesome. We're going to move on. Giving Goldberg too much time. Bill Goldberg too much time. So we're going to move on. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan.
It could have been better.
I think it was a decent match.
It could have been better.
I know what you're saying, but I think it was a decent match.
It's just like interference was about to come from Raquel Rodriguez she turned heel.
She did interfere.
Yeah.
She did interfere. Well, welcome back, Raquel Rodriguez. I'm sorry, Gonzalez, because I know they changed it since she moved to the main roster. But I've always liked her.
Raquel Gonzalez is so good.
She's so good, but I do not like this damn shtick. What they do is she's a bodyguard. I hate that shit.
Like Dakota Kai.
I hate that, man. She can carry a match. She can tell the story in the match, and she's good. She's good behind the mic.
Yeah,
she's really good behind the mic. When she was NXT Women's Champion,
that was so good.
She had a run, man.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, she had a run.
An awesome run. Actually.
Awesome run, and I'm telling you, she was. I thought she might have been the one to beat. Yeah, for the next 4 or 5 years, and she got sick, she got injured, and she just and now she's finally coming back, and I just don't understand why they're giving her the same shtick to be a bodyguard. She can carry a match, she can wrestle, she's special.
I see her and Liv Morgan going for the championship.
I could see her and Rhea Ripley feuding again.
Yeah,
later, because Raquel she's physical. Very physical.
She knows Rhea Ripley very well in the ring.
They're NXT together.
Yeah.
And they're friends in real life, which is kind of odd. Not even odd, because, you spend time with people on the road. You spend time with people training. Especially they came up together in the ranks. In the military, we call it, coming up together in the ranks. You making the same milestones, doing the same things. You get very familiar with people. And that's how it is, it seems like, in professional wrestling. They go on the road with each other. They travel. They train. They're competing for the same money, the same championships, same accolades.
Yeah.
They know each other. You could use that, man, in proper storytelling and make a crazy match.
Yeah.
You could make a crazy match with those two.
I agree.
And Rhea Ripley's talented, man.
Very good.
I mean, I've seen her wrestle live twice, and I'm telling you, she's special.
I think it was 3 times.
No, we've seen her wrestle live twice.
It's usually at a house show we went to.
Yeah, but she also wrestled in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So that's 2. But I think they could do something with that, man. I just don't understand why they won't. And they keep giving her the same tired-ass shtick. What do you think?
It just gets boring.
I agree. The match was pretty good. I think it was a little mid.
It's just like Dominic like he almost fell.
That was a little crazy with the Shark Tank thing. They had Dominic in the Shark Tank.
Poor Dominic,
and then
man.
he kind of fell out of the Shark Tank through his leg.
Shout out to Dominic Mysterio for being a trooper.
That dude does not talk. He does not get time with the mic.
People just boo at him.
He does not get time with the mic at all.
That's Latino heat.
That's Latino heat, for sure. I like Dominic, man. He's the future of that company. He is on more events and live shows than anybody.
Yeah, I have to agree.
He's a marathon man.
100%.
He's a marathon man. Shout out to Dom, Dirty Dom, doing hard time, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
The main event was goated. It had the OTC and Cody. OTC is the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and Cody versus the Bloodline, the new Bloodline 2.0. I thought it was a pretty good match.
Very good match.
Big bump.
Like, Solo Sikoa wrestled his heart out.
That dude can go, man. Him and Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is always in character.
A lot better with those two.
That dude is always in character.
Always.
And he's very consistent.
Very consistent, yeah.
Everything he does is like either no sell or oversell or praise Solo Sikoa.
So good.
That dude praying and doing some of the stuff is just hilarious. And I was just like, I'm here for it.
I love Jacob Fatu.
I do too.
He's going to turn on Solo Sikoa very soon.
I think he needs his own run at the title.
At Cody.
He's special, man.
Yes.
If people don't realize how special Jacob Fatu is compared to all the other wrestlers they got for the Bloodline.
Like Roman, Jimmy.
I think it's Roman and then Jacob Fatu and then Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jacob he's been wrestling a long time. Well, not a long time, but he's been wrestling long enough to have a really good following and have his own name.
And he knows how to cut a really good promo.
The dude's promos are goated, man. And
awesome.
He really invests himself into delivering his lines. When he talks about stuff, he's very passionate. And it resonates with me to listen to him. I'm like, he believes what he's saying.
He's just so good on the mic.
He's so good, man. He is so good. But that match was crazy.
Very good.
Cody jumping off shit.
Like,
what?
When Jimmy came back.
That was crazy. Jimmy Uso came back, super kicked Tonga and Toga. What the hell?
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa. And what's the other one?
Tamatonga.
I get their names confused.
You always do, yeah.
G.O.D. Let's call them G.O.D. Gorillas of Destiny. New Japan days. But
man, I thought the Bloodline was going to have that match.
I did not. You look at the two principals, Cody and Roman. They're both, champion, former champion.
They're not getting pinned. No.
That's just the way it go work.
Yeah.
And then the interference portion was really good. Cody had a crazy bump.
Yeah.
When he freaking jumped off the turnbuckle onto the table on a Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
And then it was crazier with Jimmy coming back.
Yes.
And I'm like, shit. Everything kind of happened at the end, too.
It did.
And then after they jumped Cody again after they had won the match.
Roman and Jimmy helped him.
They ran back up to the stage and started whooping ass.
Yeah, they did.
But while they're in the ring, the music and the lights dropped, and the effing Rock came out.
I knew he was gonna come back
with the People's Championship.
Yeah,
around his shoulder. I'm like, what the hell? And that was crazy. It was really like a moment because he didn't wrestle, but he had to cut a crazy promo as he was walking out. Like, I don't know if someone did it with a phone or a camera.
I think it was camera.
But his promo going through the Georgia Dome was crazy. He's speaking to people, talking in the third person, got in his truck and left, called himself the final boss, and he's speaking to people, dapping people up. I was like, this dude is crazy.
You remember he said something about like Fruity Pebbles or something?
Yeah, he did. He showed his ass in that. I was like, The Rock is... he's really good at it. That's why he's The Rock. Now, it was another part that we didn't see. I think I sent it to you this morning.
It was Kevin Owens and Cody.
Yeah, and shout out to, I'm not going to call the person name who I follow on TikTok, but because I don't know her like that, but I follow her. She's a friend on TikTok. She's awesome. She has her own take on wrestling, and she pointed out on her TikTok site that this was like an Easter egg, and it was like caught on a cell phone camera. Kevin Owens beat the holy hell out of Cody Rhodes.
Yes,
I was like, holy moly!
I knew it was gonna happen.
I knew it was gonna happen too. You said it though.
Never trust Kevin Owens.
Never trust Kevin Owens
or Seth.
But it was a really good Easter egg moment. And it had like WWE has a lot of little things that make you watch the main event or watch the PLE, the premium live event, and then go search for the press conferences, the stuff afterwards. It makes you very interested in looking for these things. And I was really interested in watching it because I was like, once she said it and she showed it on her TikTok, I was like, now I need to find the whole damn thing. And that's what made me, find the Rock's promo when he was walking through the damn thing and dapping people up and talking crazy. I'm here for it.
I am here for it.
I'm with the shits. Let's go.
War Games
coming up next. But before we bow out this week, we gotta get some special shots out. So AEW, man, they got to deal with the WB. Their premium live event's going to be on Max from here on out, from my understanding, which is pretty good if you got Max, and we got Max.
It's been pretty good.
Special shout out to Trick winning back the NXT Championship. What you think about Trick?
Awesome. He's actually a pretty good athlete.
Shout out to Ethan Page, man, holding it down.
Awesome.
Good run, man.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
Very good run. Yeah.
He showed what he can do, and he wrestled every week.
He did wrestle every week.
We talk a lot of shit about people wrestling and this and that, but a lot of these dudes that talk a lot of stuff on these promos, on these websites, they don't wrestle every week. Ethan Page wrestled every week.
He did.
He defended it a bunch of times. He was really good champion, carried that belt everywhere.
Yes, he did.
And when you promoting your brand, you got to carry that belt everywhere and show people, hey, I'm proud of being this brand's champion. And he did. So shout out to Ethan Page. I think he deserved a little bit more credit than what he was given.
I agree.
Thom Latimer, he is your new NWA heavyweight champion.
I knew that was going to happen.
He has 10 pounds of gold. For those who don't know, the NWA Heavyweight Championship was, back in the day, was the most prestigious heavyweight championship belt ever. In the history of wrestling, that was the one people thought about when they talked about the World Heavyweight Championship. So, it's lost a little of its luster over the last few decades, but, I like what Billy Corgan is doing with the brand. He's taking it different places. He's taking it on the road. And he's taking chances with the heavyweight championship. But shout out to Thom Latimer. He's a very proficient wrestler. I've seen some of his matches on YouTube.
Very consistent
wrestler. Very good wrestler, too.
Yeah. Shout out to EC3. He was a pretty good champion.
He was a pretty good champion.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good champion. That was a guy I never thought I would see with a World Heavyweight Championship belt.
And he won it. Yeah.
So, shout out to EC3. I think he was a decent champion. He held the belt. He held it down. Now it's Thom Latimer's turn. But we wouldn't be, a podcast if we didn't mention the ruler,
Oba Femi.
Go ahead, big buddy. I know you've been chomping at the bit.
Oba Femi is the longest reigning North American champion in history. 271 days.
That's wild to even think about. The ruler. And there's a reason they call him the ruler. The dude is special. He's the future.
Do you think Tony D'Angelo is going to dethrone him? I don't think so.
I think Tony D should dethrone him,
but Stacks is going to cause him the match.
Let me preface it by saying this. I think he should dethrone him, and I think after Oba loses it, I think he should go for the NXT Championship against Trick.
Yes.
That's what I think. I think that Oba is the future.
He is the future. 100%.
Him, people like Trick, people like freaking Wesley, people like Kalani Jordan, people like even Chelsea Green, man. I think if they give them the right opportunities, the sky's the limit. Because Chelsea Green has a different fan base.
She does.
Jada Parker has a different fan base. And I'm telling you, people will follow. People follow those people.
Yeah.
They follow them. You know, people even Tony D. I think Tony D has main event. I think he could be in a main event one day.
Yes, against Trick.
I really like Tony D'Angelo, man.
Yeah.
That dude's special. Trick is special. I think WWE has a really good problem with too much talent. It's just, you know, who gets a shot, who don't.
Yeah, that's the roughest part.
That's the roughest part. But, you know, that concludes our podcast this week. Thank you. Next time, see you down the road.
Bye.
Take it easy, y'all.